Welcome back, everybody, to Crows of Judgment. And tonight, or last night, Tim Pool got swatted during his podcast. Cops showed up as they were live streaming. It looks like everybody is safe. Everything was okay. However, after the podcast ended, I guess they went through the security footage and they started talking with the other people there. And it was a lot worse than they had realized. So originally, like 5 hours ago, Timcast, we just got swatted. And then 10:39 p.m., which is about 3 hours, it looks like maybe 8 vehicles, multiple departments, jurisdictions involved. The security footage shows this may have been worse than we realized. Fortunately, our CTO is outside as they drove up and de-escalated the situation. I'll be frank, I don't know what CTO is, but I know that the house is like a place where a bunch of people are there, and I imagine they had people that were able to like go outside as the cops were showing up. But like, I'll put it like this: imagine if Tim Pool was like just streaming outside of his like house normally, and someone had swatted him then, or imagine that he didn't have a bunch of staff there when the cops arrived. Outside ready to like, handle what was happening. It could have been really fucking bad. And that's the problem with swatting, right? The cops don't know what's going on. You're telling them, basically, someone will call the police, say, hey, there's people that have been shot, and the person still has the weapon, and, sometimes they'll, give the address, or they'll hang up, right? And the police will, like, jet out to that address, and typically what will happen is, you're in your home, and all of a sudden, people are banging down the doors. You get up freaking out, and they just, they shoot you. There's been other situations where people have been streaming, and all of a sudden the police just run in, they tackle the person and arrest them. But there's been very deadly circumstances. I don't want to name the person, but Keemstar, you can go look it up if you want to, at one point was working with law enforcement to take down a swatter, right? So he got the swatter onto his podcast, which he was criticized for, but he got the guy to confess, and then he had to sit there with an actual murderer. And I can't imagine that being very comfortable. So, props to Keemstar on that. Swatting is very dangerous. It's very deadly. And I do want to go over this really quick, but just one final note on swatting. Our laws are not put in place to prevent it, right? Swatting is a new crime in the digital age, and our laws just, they don't exist to penalize this enough so that people will stop doing it. So just want to say that this is something that's very serious. It's a good thing that nobody got hurt, but let's jump into the actual state. So this is from the actual live stream. And at the very beginning, you see someone walk right by the camera.
7 pandemics. And
so this was a police officer who got called in to check out the house along with a full team of people because they were told that there was an active shooter situation. And you see, the guy doesn't even realize it. He just walks straight into the recording studio.
And there's only 4 cases.
And he just keeps talking. I think it's like right around here when they finally like go into.
Yeah, that I was looking at my notes and I was like,
did somebody swat you?
Yep, somebody swatted us.
Did they really?
Yep, somebody swatted us. So that's
How do you know?
How
do you know?
I have somebody texting me.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so Tim's gonna go take care of business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the person texting her was probably like one of the staff people. But you see like they just like get up immediately. So that was supposed to be like Crab Crawler. I'd give him a follow. But this is the update from when Tim came back. Because like I said, this all happened as they were streaming. And the stream is still up on his channel too.
I don't know who let them in or why.
Yeah, what happened?
I understand they're here because we got swatted. A report was made that 2 people had been shot and killed, and that the gunman was threatening to hurt themselves. They didn't send a SWAT team. It was just a couple of officers. I don't want to drag them or be mean to them because they were polite. But I'm not happy with the idea that they're walking into our studio while we are live. They're walking around. Cop immediately, I walked out of the room. He immediately came up and said, I'm really, really sorry about this. We're not trying to, screw with you or ruin what you're doing. here's what happened. We got a call. 2 people had been shot and killed, and a person was going to be killing themselves. We have to check it out, make sure everything's okay. We're going to be doing a sweep once we figure it out. And I'm just like, come back with a warrant. But I don't know who.
So I think Tim Pool had what was it, Officer Tatum on his podcast, and he does tell Tim that, you know, like, look, the cops have to do this. And that's why swatting's so dangerous, because like, even if it's like ridiculous, right, what someone's claiming, if they think that there's an active threat, they've got to make sure everything's okay, because that small percentage that it's not fake, I mean, they can't just like leave an active shooter. So he said at first it was like just like 2 police officers that showed up, but in reality there was a SWAT team of people that came to the house, right? Which is nuts. I mean, this is insane. And I guess he's got the security camera footage, and they're going to be posting on the channel. I don't know what idiot decided to do this, but if it was to, like, you know, I have this feeling that it was purely with the intent of causing harm. And because some people think swatting is like a joke, right? They don't take it seriously. Or sometimes they do it because they just want to fuck with somebody. But to say that there's an active shooter that's already shot 2 people and that they're, you know, still are armed and are threatening to shoot themselves, that sounds like you are trying to get the cops to show up in full force and go raid the place to stop a shooter. And with that many people being there, I realistically, like, there's a scenario here where the cops just go in and a bunch of people get harmed. Whoever did this is a malicious and vicious little demon. All right, this is actually fucking evil. And I don't know who did it. People can speculate, and if you want to play speculation games, first off, the quartering, right? I get that he clarifies it, you know, and it's like 7 minutes later. But in a situation like this, to go and try to like say some shit like, chat is convinced it's Jack Murphy. I can confirm very few people know Tim's address. That, like, I'm sure he realized it, but like, that's a fucked up thing to like put out, man. That's a really fucked up thing. Really fucked up. And to go like, oh, I'll say there's zero evidence. If you want to say his chat's trolling, they were clearly fucking trolling. But your tweet is like a very clear implication that somebody was. Yeah. Anyways, it could have actually just been like a rabid Tim Pool fan, because I mean, you know, Corey didn't bring up the Jack Murphy situation. Tim Pool's chat for days now has been pissed off, super chatting him, and he's ignored the entire situation with Jack Murphy after having Jack Murphy come on and lie about a bunch of people. Now, it's very possible that someone got like really heated and got pissed off and said, I'm going to end the guy. It could be someone getting pissed off because Tim Pool is tweeting about, you know, the big bad day of January 6th and doesn't like his takes on it. Or it could just be some asshole that wants attention. I have no idea. I don't think that speculation here really does anything. I think you got to wait for the cops to find out who did this, because, again, swatting is a very serious crime. And, you know, I think that this is, again, this is speculation. So, you know, criticize me and everything. But I think that this was done with clearly malicious intent. Not like heat of the moment, not I'm so mad. It seems like this was done with the intention of causing serious harm. And I think that person who did this needs to be found, and they need to be arrested immediately. And just to be clear, even the people who have been very critical of Tim Pool have like put out statements, you know, they hope everybody's okay. I don't think that there's any reason to like try to throw this at anybody right now. Let the police do their thing. Tim Pool's apparently got more video that he's going to be posting tomorrow on his channel, so go ahead and check that out. But, you know, final note, swatting is a serious crime. It's a crime for the digital age, and we do not have laws in place that will protect people from it. And it's a very deadly thing that you do to people.